Tell me the ballroom.
The Department of War. Dun, 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 dun.
Capitalism had a soundtrack. It'd be explosions scored by a Raytheon's earnings.
Welcome to Angry Capital, guys. We explore how money runs everything from the absurd to the outright insane and why it matters to you, to me, to normal people. All right. If we make you laugh, cry, or question your 401k, hit that subscribe. We drop 3 episodes a week right here exposing the circus behind your capitalism.
And I mean, we have to start here with the godfather of defense contracts. Let's start where every modern defense hustle began. Dick Cheney. I don't know if you remember Iraq War. I don't know how old you were at the time. Major thing. I was in high school at the time.
Yeah, me too.
It was crazy. Like you could see it playing out in real time. Dick Cheney, that former CEO of Halliburton, turned VP. He's the one who perfected this no-bid contract in Iraq and Afghanistan and became Halliburton's ATM, basically. Billions in taxpayer cash, zero competition as they destroyed Iraq and Afghanistan and then rebuilt it and got paid to do it on both ends.
Yeah, I mean, when you look into this stuff, I said before we film, man, this topic I think really gets under my skin and makes me sad. When you realize since the dawn of time, but especially in American history, war is for profit, war is a racket, war has constantly made money. And specifically, it's kind of weird timing with his passing so fresh, but obviously one of the most prolific of our time is this guy, Halliburton playbook to modern day covert ops. The Department of War isn't back. It never left. That's the thing. It's always been going around.
Right. And guess where the new targets are? Venezuela. You keep seeing these drone strikes off the coast on these purported drug boats. But then you look a little bit deeper and you're like, oh shit, Venezuela has like the most oil reserves in the world that have been untapped. Sound familiar? Sound like anything Dick Cheney was interested in back 20 years ago? The thing just continues.
We got weapons of mass destruction. I don't know if I could do Bush.
Yeah.
Weapons of mass. Yeah. Exactly. And now that it's officially called the Department of War again, the marketing matches the mission,
Right. And when there's a war, there's profit. And if you follow the money, when you look at who's actually profiting from these things and how stock prices get affected by them. Trump, he talking about nukes again, and it starts affecting defense contractors' stock prices. In a new 60 Minutes interview, he said that he wants America to test nukes again, reigniting the debate, about restarting Cold War era detonations in Nevada. Like, what are we doing? We're going back 70 years of progress towards non-nuclear proliferation.
And man, like we've talked about with him and in general with the news, there's so much fear. There's so much kind of things being put into the ethos to then move markets, right? Like who knows what's going to happen? He could be just saying that for other reasons, trying to flex his power or maybe make more money off of a war eventually. I want to remind you too, don't forget on Polymarket, there was a 33-cent bet on a new war. Remember? There's people are out there in the fear of this happening again. In many ways. And, new wars and renewed tests have defense contractors licking their lips because when the world gets closer to ending, their stock options go to the moon.
Right. And that's the beauty of the Department of War 2.0. Like fear is currency. Missiles are just like another growth sector and opportunity. So if you follow the money and you can see who's turning doom into dividends here, the way the cycle works with these boom and busts in war. Look at what is happening right now to Spotify. I did not know this was happening. This is where I get pissed because not only is it your own money being taxed and going towards these wars, but also the private money, these things that you're subscribing to, these companies that are bringing you entertainment and enjoyment are also trying to make a profit off of war. Now there's a backlash against the CEO of Spotify because he's working on these AI drone startups. Have you heard about this?
No, I was too busy listening to that awesome new Apocalypse playlist on Spotify. It's the end of the world as we know it.
There's some good stuff on there. It's going to be... The internet is going to have so much fun when we eventually hit Armageddon. Like, there's going to be so many great jokes on the way out. Like, peace, it was great knowing you, but we're all going to die.
I mean, Spotify has already built a business on taking advantage of songwriters and squeezing artists into bigger profit for people who control things. I mean, it's a corrupt business to begin with. I can get in trouble for saying that. I feel like they're so powerful, like this specific streaming platform. You got to be on there if you're an artist. You got to get your audience there. But if you look at the deals of Spotify, they're not really honoring the small songwriters, and even some of the biggest artists in music have back-end deals with Spotify to make more money for them and for Spotify and the artist. The middle ground artists are lower, are not making money. They're getting squeezed and they're trying to just survive. I mean, AI artists are doing better than human artists on Spotify.
Yes.
I'm not surprised that this guy's like, let's get into AI drones. Yeah, that's the future.
Bro, this guy, Daniel Ek, he's invested $1 billion off of money he takes from you, the little $12.99 a month that he gets for you because you want to listen to the Bee Gees on the beach. He's taking that money and he's investing it into Helsing AI, where they're building autonomous drones and targeting software. Like, this is where your subscription money is going.
What is it about people with this amount of, I mean, when you're that rich, like, why do you, like, is it some weird secret club we don't know? Is that a real conspiracy theory that they're just like, there's a real club that's like, let's just take over the world? We're going to make like, why would this guy invest in that?
Because they see business opportunities. I mean, whether it's a conspiracy or not, they see huge profits. You can debate endlessly about whether they are all colluding on it together. But as individuals, as smart investors, when it comes to capitalism, they see an opportunity. They're going to go for it, even if people die. I'm going to tell you this, and this is probably the worst thing I've ever admitted anywhere, is that when you started to see the ramping of war happening in Venezuela, as somebody who's like trying to make money trading stocks and investing for our family, there was a thought that went off in my head of, oh, the US is going in for oil. What companies refine that oil? Is there an investment opportunity in there? This is something that 20-year-old me, 25, 30-year-old me would have looked at in disgust because you're looking for ways to profit off of war. But this is how they think on an industrial level. And I'm just sad that it's making me think that way. And I have no one to blame but myself for even thinking along those lines. But it's terrible. You have to gut check yourself. Well,
you're also a guy who understands numbers, right? Like, if there is a war, there is a surefire, not to use the terminology, there's a sure way to see profit in the war and to get profit from that said war. So you just know historically it's always the case. So I don't know ethically where you're at, because it's like you're smart about it going up, but also it is human life that's on the table for a lot of these things. And also, just going back to the tech for a second, you've got the Spotify CEO. Why are these tech guys also interested in war? Which is, it tells you, like, following the money, they're thinking like you in a way bigger way. You know, former Google CEO Eric Schmidt, he left big tech to launch White Stork, a defense startup building AI-powered drones for Ukraine. His mission, to make drone warfare more autonomous.
To give the drones, give the AI less rules, more choices to kill people.
Is, like, you run. First of all, this guy runs Spotify. This Google guy's at Google. Why aren't you investing in drones that are doing my light show at Disneyland? Like, why is it instead drones
in that, Paul,
that are going to kill
more money and killing?
You want to invest in robots killing humans? Like, this is Terminator stuff, man. This is Sarah Connor. That's like real life Terminator stuff, you know. And you know, the man who taught machines to recommend cat videos now wants them to identify human targets. Tech didn't just evolve, it militarized, you know, like Google. Come on.
Right.
That's what you want to do?
Yes, that's what they want to do. And it is going to get even exponentially worse when you tie in the real AI. Like, that's just drones, and that's just the way that technology can target people. But now you know that there's going to be predictive markets like we saw with Polymarket and things like that. But AI is going to be fueling a lot of this prediction market on where these things are going to pop off and how to profit off of them quickly. You look at what OpenAI has done. They've got a $200 million contract with the Pentagon here. They're basically helping them build AI tools that are going to help military operations to run more efficiently. You know they're going to be typing in there like, where is Osama bin Laden? It's like, you know, we killed him 15 years ago or whatever. But, you know, still, the applications of this are weird.
Let me tell you something, guys. When AI rules the world and we're all gone, it's going to be our fault that we allowed this to happen.
Yeah.
We're too busy eating popcorn, watching Mormon Wives, whatever that show is, to give a shit. You just said OpenAI is working with the U.S. defense contract. We're literally in business with AI in our defense department.
Yes. Yeah. Everything.
Our country's defense department. What is happening?
Everything. Paul, do you understand like how deep? Did you ever have an Oura ring? Are you familiar with Oura rings?
No, I'm straight.
No. The thing that tracks you wear on your finger.
I know. I like women. I know.
Okay. Yeah. My wife got me one. Okay. I had one for several years. It's tracking all your biometric data. I'm like, oh, this is cool. I can see how many steps,
I've seen it.
how well I sleep.
Yeah.
Who bought them recently or who invested billions of dollars in them? Palantir, Peter Thiel's company that is surveilling everything and being used in this drone technology for warfare, is also tracking your biometrics updated to the minute on your ring. You don't think that they're going to incorporate that somehow in this machine? Like, well, that's just scary.
That's why I'm saying, like, it's our fault. Like, as much as we could say the powers that be, the OpenAIs of the world, are the ones at fault, nobody's regulating this. No one really cares about this. You and I are talking about this because we're upset. It's upsetting to see, but we're too distracted. We're too comfortable. And I don't know what it is about us, American culture, and not everybody, but I just think we're like not giving the gravity to these things. We actually, like, the fact that I'm sitting here in 2025 talking about an artificial intelligence company working directly with our defense department sounds like I'm watching it. If it was 10 years ago, I'd be watching this in a movie. Like,
yeah,
you can't.
And they showed it to you 10 years ago in the movies. That's the crazy thing. That's
some pre-programming. You want to go down a whole other rabbit hole about pre-programming?
Yeah.
There's a lot of movies out there that tell all this, and they show us how it's going to happen. You know?
Right.
And here's the thing, man. There's big money in war, we know, and it's no longer just Lockheed and Raytheon, right? When the streaming guy, the chatbot company, and the search engine billionaire all start building drones, you realize the future isn't tech versus war. It's becoming war. This is kind of what I'm getting at. Like,
right.
How far are we going to go? And also, we all are the human race. We're profiting off humans killing humans. Eventually, is the profit just going to be all of us fighting the AI? Because that's how it looks like it's going.
Yeah, I mean, who knows at some point, but it is so hard to cut through and get to the real stories and all of this and understand fully because, you know, behind every innovation, every contract, every AI for defense pitch, you know, there's some old business model that just profits off of the chaos and the lobbying that goes on. Like when you look, tell me the ballroom.
Why would Lockheed Martin build a ballroom? That ain't making sense to me. No, that don't.
This golden ballroom that is being built, that is funded by AI tech companies, defense contractors. Tell me that isn't something other than a ballroom. You don't think that there's got to be some sort of, there's a reason why defense are the key people who are investing in this. It's got to be a bunker, some sort of upgrade because of the threat of what could be coming because of all the other headlines we're hearing. Trump wants to test nukes. There's conflict with China, Russia, Venezuela, everywhere.
I don't know about this being full. I know this is what we have here as some of the articles, but how true is it that it's by these companies and that it's completely funded?
They admitted it. They said it.
I'd like to know the percentage on the funding. And also, I think the news media is having a lot of fun criticizing Trump. This is a little bit of a hot take. I don't care. I don't care what kind of dance he does at the White House. I could give about what kind of fundraiser they're going to run there one day. People want to get mad at Trump for building things. They just want to be mad at him. The guy put his name on hotels that weren't even his, and he made money off his name. The guy put his name on steaks, shoes. He's just trumping. I'm not co-signing him doing this. Sure, is it unethical that it might come from Lockheed Martin and federal contractors? Absolutely. But how many other things in our American culture did this money come from? It comes
from. They're going to grift anyway, so who cares?
No, I'm saying it happens everywhere. Everyone just wants to be mad that this guy wants to dance with his wife who doesn't love him in a ballroom paid for. You know what? About that. No, I think
I want to see that. I would pay money. I would contribute to this ballroom if that was the spectacle that we were given, but it's not. And this isn't just a ballroom. There's something. What I'm saying, I don't give a shit if he's funding it himself, whatever. There's something else going on there.
Maybe
in the ballroom.
I just don't think it's fair to say it's because of these federal contractors that now it's going to be the ballroom it is. Trump's going to Trump. That's the only thing I'm saying. Maybe the money comes from somewhere weird. Trump's going to trump the White House regardless of where the money's coming from. He's also going to find the money regardless. So I'm not saying I'm okay with this. I'm just saying the media's having a good time complaining about some big bar mitzvah he's going to have for his son-in-law.
But it's not. It's because it's clearly not just a ballroom.
Well, maybe I'm I don't know. I just don't. Why is it not a ballroom?
You don't think that it's not a good idea for the most hallowed institution in the country, the American White House, to have an entire wing built by private defense contractors and AI companies? What? Why?
I'm saying I'm not buying that that's where all the money's coming from. Maybe I'm choosing to be ignorant about it. I'm not buying that all the money came from them.
Okay, I'll find the article.
I got it. Trump's new White House. Oh, wait, here we go. Diamond on JP Morgan Chase not donating to White House ballroom. We have an issue. So I'm just going to pull this up. JP Morgan Chase CEO Jamie Dimon on Wednesday said his company will not donate money toward the White House because he told CNN Chase was not listed among the companies that have donated toward the project. We have an issue, which is anything we do. Since we do a lot of contracts with governments here and around the world, we have to be very careful about how anything is perceived and also how the next DOJ is going to deal with it.
Dude, are you not hearing it? They said, whoops, we got caught and called out, so never mind. We're not really investing that much. It was the White House themselves who released the list here. I'm going to drop this for you, but
I guess the way, based on the theme of what we're talking about, man, it's like war is a racket and people are going to profit from war regardless.
Yes.
All of a sudden, we're slapping the wrist of this ballroom, and I think war profit has been involved with a lot of investments in American history for a very long time. Like the ballroom is not the issue. The issue is that war is for profit. That's my point.
Sure.
So
I'll give that to you.
Easy thing to make fun of.
It's to make fun of it in the most obvious level of grifting ever. That and the Qatari jet for Air Force One. But I digress. But in Trump world, like, access isn't earned, it's purchased. And that's the problem here, because you have to ask yourself what's coming along with these contributions. And if you've got the right last name, you don't just get an invite, you get a contract. You're going to make money off of the government's decisions.
By the way, to your point, I imagine this is all planned for like the golded out new situation room. Like it's a giant live situation room, seats 1,000 people just watching him make war moves like it's the WWE.
Yes.
And he's just like, should I hit the nuke button? Should I hit it?
Dude, you know what it's going to be like? You know those streamers like Kai Cenat who just play video games there and there's 45,000 people watching them? That's going to be Trump, but it's going to be with a nuclear war. Like,
correct.
What is this world?
And like I said earlier, we asked for this, and we're going to be like, this is entertainment and awesome, and I don't really care that much because I'm drunk and I'm eating Cheetos.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. Until you can't afford them anymore.
You were mentioning the Trump last name, which I know you're talking about this, Eric Trump joining a drone company. It's not bad enough we have this Spotify CEO and the Google guy, but now Eric Trump's like, oh, I should get into drones too, daddy.
Dude, this guy is in every business that his father gets into. And he's like, he and his brother are so deep into every crypto project. Now they're in these defense projects here with these drones. They're positioning themselves for future government deals. Like, it's out in the open, but we're too busy with all the chaos. There's a fire hose of chaos going on that we can't, like, this would be a major scandal 10, 20 years ago.
You're right. I mean, that's the thing about the Trump news cycle, though. It's like the ulterior motives and things like this, defense contracts and drones, it's not scandalous because scandalous is salacious and it's silly and it's the PP tape or whatever you want to talk about, weird scandals and there's things that go on that take our focus, right, from what actually is happening behind the scenes. And something like this, no one really cares, A Business Insider report found dozens of lawmakers actively trading defense stocks, often right before votes on military spending and foreign aid. Again, it's manipulating things and insider trading, right? Which we talked about. Congress profits off every war they authorize. Remember that. They don't invest in peace. They invest in conflict with dividends.
Right.
This brings up I just wanted to reference this book I read in college that I've always told people about, because for the past, 20, 30 years since I've been a little bit more informed, you kind of grow up not thinking of war this way, right? But there was a great book, 1935, it's called War is a Racket. And I know in past episode you were recommending books, so I just wanted to be like,
it's your turn to shill, yeah.
This is my time too. But it's by this guy, it was by a general, General Butler. There's a major general in World War I, and he points to a variety of examples, mostly from that war, where industrialists whose operations were subsidized by public funding were able to generate substantial profits, making money from mass human suffering. And just quickly, the 5 chapters that are interesting is War is a Racket, who makes the profits, who pays the bills, how to smash this racket, and to hell with war. So he kind of has his own opinion on it there, but kind of depressing to reference a book written about World War I and see
it applicable today.
It's exactly this. I don't think it's changed at all. If anything, it's worse. And to your point about Eric Trump and everything else, it's not just worse. We know it's happening. We as a public are more aware, and it's still happening.
Yes, and this is where I know a few episodes ago you referenced how you kind of like to, not see these things coming and just la-di-da go along. But we're seeing this coming from 80 years away. Like you're seeing the cycle of history repeat here. If you want to show more books, read The Fourth Turning. It's very interesting. The parallels going on just before World War II to now, the same 80-year cycles. But this is what happens. And then I think people really don't also understand, and maybe it's too much of a moral weight to carry. And I was talking a little bit about this before, where you start thinking about investments and how it ties in. But your 401k is absolutely deeply invested in a lot of these defense companies. And I know some of them have opt-out clauses there where you can kind of opt out and not support those companies, but not all of them. And most people's money is tied up in profiting off of this, and it's kind of a dirty secret in investing.
My point to you, man, what I'm trying to point out is if it's okay to invest in these my point to you, man, is if it's okay to invest in these companies, it's sort of similar to where the money's coming from for the ballroom. If we can profit off it, how is it so bad to also build a ballroom? I think it's kind of ethically we're in a similar place.
But we don't make the decisions. Trump makes the decisions
about
the war. Whether
you could decide to invest in what you invest in.
No, but I'm saying our decisions don't affect foreign policy or war policy or moves the Department of War is going to make. The other two directly affect each other, and they make money off of each other. We have no say in that. It used to be we had a say in that because Congress was supposed to declare war, backed by the people and what its constituents want, but that doesn't exist anymore.
Well, I would say, to kind of blow this out even worse, is I don't know if it ever existed, buddy. I think we were sold that. I don't know if it ever really is true.
Yeah, I agree with you there for sure. And I mean, because this promise of war money has just always been there, and it's too easy to profit off of conflict because you're always going to have conflict over resources. And the promise of war money doesn't just bring in family business, like it resurrects old villains here, like Eric Prince, who, Blackwater founder. You heard a lot about Blackwater back in the day in the invasion of Iraq. These were one of these private defense contractors. You didn't really hear much about them after Iraq and Afghanistan. Turns out they've been popping up all over Ukraine. They're used in all sorts of international conflicts, and they're pitching this new drone company to Ukraine, promising a low-cost autonomy solutions for war and for death here. So, I mean, right. Yeah. And it's the same companies over and over again. You've got, all of these companies that we all love, BMW, Porsche, Hugo Boss, have built fortunes supplying Hitler's war machine back in the day. I mean, it's an ugly thing that a lot of people don't want to talk about, but a lot of the biggest companies were built on the backs of terrible things. I mean, you even want to talk about tech companies and where a lot of these minerals are coming from in Africa and just the conditions there.
We conveniently leave out the history too from a lot of this. It goes to the defense contracts. It also goes to some of these brands like you're talking about. There's some ugly history behind a lot of stuff. I actually think recently Hugo Boss I think they changed their name to Boss.
Oh yeah,
Right.
They dropped the Hugo.
Actually, this is really awkward. This is not planned at all.
Are you wearing a Boss?
But I just want to show you guys what is going. I
Profit
bought
off the
them.
war. Profit
After
off the war.
No, the Hugo guy was anti-Semitic. Now Boss is not. See what I say there? No. Funny, I just remembered I was wearing a very comfortable shirt. But people kind of do forget. They do forget the history, right? They forget, the same families still run the companies. And look, like this is why ethically it's really blurry, man. You're here talking about investment opportunities in this space. These early companies,
that's way to think about why. But it's like, if I'm not thinking that way, these other companies are going to do that. But you have to make a moral decision. I had to decide, no. I got duped into another thing. Like, I didn't understand what Palantir was 6 years ago. To me, they had positioned themselves as being somebody who was going to be like data infrastructure for Bitcoin mining. Turns out they're the biggest surveiller in the world, and I was invested in them. And when I found out what was going on, I had to divest. But these are like moral decisions you have to make, and you have to look at what's going on.
Well, here's the thing, man. You're talking about the average consumer, the average American like you, the average investor trying to make some extra money. This is the sad truth. Profit is not moral. That's what it comes down to.
I mean, in somewhere along the chain, usually it's hurting somebody.
And I'm not trying to be all high and mighty, rah, rah, kumbaya. If you want to make money, you got to be evil. But I do think when it comes to this topic of this episode, which disgusts me, profit is not ethical. It's not moral. And we have seen time and time again where we would rather line pockets with blood than deal with actually helping humans. And that's what freaks me out about the AI stuff. It freaks me out about taking this idea from the World War I days before that up to now, introducing artificial intelligence. This just feels depressing, man. It just feels like we've already gone this far and already tortured ourselves as humans for so far in history. What's it going to be like with this new introduction to new technology? And of course, when the tech people are investing in it and driving that, what the fuck are we going to do?
Right. But here's the thing that I think that in order to kind of bring somewhat of a sober note to this, that I think my grandparents helped me understand is my grandfather was in the Navy in World War II. My grandmother was in high school at the time. And the shock and the fear of a nuclear bomb dropping on Japan and how it killed millions of people and the massive fallout and how shocking and transitional a period that was for the entire world. We haven't had that moment yet with AI, but there is some hope in seeing that we were able to rebuild, at least for an 80-year period here, we were able to rebuild and have a productive society afterwards. Now, if AI does something similar, can we rebuild again? I think that history shows us there's hope. So there's hope, and I'm not saying we even get to that point with AI, but if we do, I think history shows us there's hope.
I like to believe there's hope, man. I would like to think the Japanese rebuilt. I mean, the best thing for Americans since then is Ohtani and the Dodgers. But like, I think, I don't know. My point to you about your grandfather is he didn't wear an Oura ring, So I think that I'm harping on my own joke. I shouldn't have made to begin with.
I like it. He didn't. No.
I do agree. I think what you're missing though is there was maybe a little bit more human effort in that rebuild from that terrible time of World War II. We haven't had a world war of that scope, but I do think what we are prepping for with artificial intelligence, and if you follow the money, which we're talking about now, if you follow these investments, if you follow, tech people putting money into defense, $1 billion from Spotify, that's the problem here that's spooky, is that following the money just freaks me out for whatever this grander scale war might be one day. I don't know if the morality of humans and trying to rebuild may not exist because we're going so far in that direction. It scares me. I hate to be a fear monger this episode, but this specific
I know what is going on
makes me feel like we have no hope. And because war isn't going away, it's too profitable to quit. I think the people who are pushing this profit now, though, and the tech side, are going to not even see the benefit, of their efforts because they're going to be robots burying them.
Probably, but here's the bright side. Like you said, Paul, war is so profitable. Why only have one more war? when you can have 30 more wars and extend history and extend lifespan so there's more people to war and make profit off of? How about that? So there's hope for a better tomorrow for another war.
They should have changed that song. War. Good God, y'all. What is it good for? Absolutely the people who are making money off it. That should have been the line.
Great ring to it.
That's
Great.
it.
I'm going to sing that at karaoke.
Right? I know. We hope we didn't depress you too much this episode, guys.
I was trying not to, Paul. Why'd you have to take it there?
I'm an optimist too, but I'm just
I know.
this one gets to me, man, because it just freaks me out.
I feel you.
I do want to tell people that we're not giving advice, but we are curious what your take is on this specific issue, about investing in these defense contracts and tech and what's happening in the future. How scared are you? How do you feel about this? Comment below. Let us know. And like always, make sure you like and subscribe. We're doing 3 of these a week. I feel, just so you know, Arthur, a lot more informed just from doing these with you. And I think that's our goal for our audience. Yeah. Informing, staying prepared, understanding what's going on in this crazy circus that is finance.
Right. It's like we're figuring this out together. It's basically like open software. But you come here so we can all figure it out together.
We can figure it out together. We can disagree. We can agree. Part of what I like that we're doing too is, hey, we all bring our opinions. At the end of the day, we're trying to survive, right? We're trying to make money, save money, and maybe get invited to a fundraiser at the White House Ballroom.
You just want to go to that ballroom. Well, I don't understand. You have no problem with it.
I don't want to go. I just don't care enough about it. I should care more. I care more about the fact that you wear that ring every night. I don't know why.
I stopped wearing it. It was tracking me. They're going to mess with my health insurance.
I mean, having health data is cool. I guess because my wife tracked her ovulation on that ring, I just think of that only.
Oh, I track mine too. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, right. Yeah. Guys, we'll be back. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, like. See you guys.
Peace.
This show is sponsored by Galileo FX, the only automated trading software that shows you the wins and losses before you buy. Learn more at store.galileofx.com.